Okay, hi, hello everybody. Nice to meet you all. Today I want to explain about world religion paradigm, and I will start from Islam and Christian because these two big religion give a big impact in the world religion paradigm. So we will explain about it. And for this presentation based on 3 reading articles that we can see in our website class. And the first one is start from the Ronald Simkins. The second one from David Zeiden, and the third one comes from Andrew and Lloyd. And I choose to start from the Ronald Simkins first because this talk about the Bible. I'm from Christian, and I think it's more better to talk about what I know. And if we want to say some things bad, it's more better, more wise if I talk about myself or my community, then I point about another community. So if I talk, it's like an introspection. I talk about myself, my community, maybe we can get inspiration to also do the same things to our community. Okay, let's start. Okay, from the Ronald Simkins idea. Actually, Ronald Simkins start from the Lane White idea. One big quote from the Lane White. White said that Christianity, especially in Western form, is the most anthropocentric religion the world ever seen. Can you imagine that? Once again, Christianity, especially in Western form, is the most anthropocentric religion the world has ever seen. White criticized the impact of Judeo-Christian tradition on the environment. We can see some point in here why Judeo-Christian give a big impact. It's related to the Genesis chapter 1. In Christianity, in our Bible, we have two different parts. The first part is the Old Testament, and the second part is New Testament. And in the Old Testament, we start from God creation. And in Bible, Genesis chapter 1, we can see that human is the culmination of God creation. Human is the top point in the God creation. It brings a privileged position for human. Also, it gives human dominion to another creation. So, this is human and another creation in below. So, White also say about the understanding in our Christianity worldview. He said that our reading of creation in the Bible, it's get impact or influence from medieval Latin worldview. It related to enlightenment. Do you know when we talk about enlightenment, we talk about logic, not logic. We talk about rationality and something like that. Because of that, our understanding when we read the Bible, we conduct the mythology for our nature. Before the enlightenment, or in our understanding, we talk about mythology, and mythology is a part of our life. But when enlightenment comes, we think about more logic, more rational. So we do the mythology for our nature. We discard it, we reject it, and yeah, something like that. Also, at the same time, White say that the understanding from Christianity, it places man at the center of creation, and this is really different from the idea of Roman Greek mythology. Roman Greek mythology didn't put the man is the center and also the absolute one from another. No, but when Christian comes, they do this. It places man at the center of creation, and also man separate from nature. And this is the big critic from Lane White, that about the separation from man and the nature. And in here we can see that they assert that it is God's will that man can exploit another creation. One thing, White also compares this understanding with the idea of Francis from the Assisi. I love this man. You should read about this, about Francis from the Assisi. He compares the idea from a Christian understanding with Francis from the ICC, with when we can understand that Francis from the ICC, he dethroned humankind from overcreation in favor of the shared community. So this is really different from another perspective on Christianity. So that's from Lane White. But what is the idea from Simkins? Because Simkins wrote about Lane White. And Simkins said that he used the term infected. Infected related to anthropocentrism. He said that our idea when we read the Bible, that's infected, like now we have a coronavirus. So anthropocentrism is like a virus. It comes to our mind when we read the Bible. So okay, we are the chosen one, we are the best, we are more than another creation. So this is infecting our idea when we read the Bible. In Christianity, we have some community. They realize it. They start to understanding it, and they start to read the Bible again with, we say, new perspective. Because in here, when we get infected, yeah, we still read with the Enlightenment perspective. Okay, next. Another, Simkins' idea. Simkins say that the Bible was produced in pre-modern. We should understand that. Our Bible, we say this is Holy Bible, but this is come from pre-modern, and this also pre-scientific word. This is really different context with us, and the concept in the Bible absolutely different with the concept we deal right now. Yeah, it's hard to say that when we are in our church. We also say that okay, it can explain for everything, but we cannot to receive that the Bible come from different contexts. It's really hard, but I should say that we should receive it. And Simkins says that it's not surprising that the Bible contribution to current environment discussion would be limited. I'm sorry, I put red one in here, red color in here, and underline to make us assert that our Bible is limited too. Okay, so what is Simkins' suggestion? Anthropocentrism is not the biblical worldview. This is good. He said that anthropocentrism is not the biblical worldview. We keep the anthropocentrism in our perspective, but we should understand this is not biblical worldview. And but the Bible may be used to challenge the pervasive anthropocentrism of so much Western. It means, I put comment in here, this is not self-defense, that we can run, anthropocentrism is not a biblical worldview, not like that. This is not self-defense. We still have a problem with our Bible, our perspective, our understanding. We realize that we sick in there, we have a problem in there, but we can use the Bible as a weapon against the anthropocentrism. Okay, that's not our weakness. We can change our weakness to be our strong, our challenge to fight, to deal with our problem, right? Okay. The second one. The second article, it comes from Zeiden, David Zeiden. And in the second article, it talks about, in the first article, we talk about anthropocentrism. But in the second article, we talk actually about two biggest things, fundamentalism, also, and Theocentrism. But it focused in Islamic and Christian. Okay? Yeah. See? In here, we focus in Theocentrism, Theocentric worldview for Islam and Christian, and this is good article, you can read that. And in this article, they use a phenomenological study. Yeah, actually we use phenomenological study in the field research, but Zeiden used phenomenological study for the selected writings. This good, they want to know their understanding from some people, but they learn from the writing, their articles, so they collected so many articles. But this is especially for Christian article and Islamic article who talk about theocentric. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Before we go forward, the big question is, what is the fundamentalism? So fundamentalism, it related to radical and militant religious movement in all religious boundaries. But be careful. Why I should say like this, because we cannot to make it narrow for fundamentalism just for some action like that. Oh, it's radical, so it means this is fundamentalist. No, not like that. That's we make it too narrow, and that's not like that. It should be seen, fundamentalism should be seen as a syndrome with a large cluster of typical symptoms, because you cannot to see, oh, this man is fundamentalism or not just by the acting, because sometimes just in their mind it can give impact to what he do in some part of their life. So fundamentalism can come impact to all of the sphere in our life. Okay, we should understand the cosmos of fundamentalism. The fundamentalist cosmos is centered on the one God, who is the source of its sanctity, meaning, and order, as revealed in Holy Scripture. But we should understand too that the fundamentalists really hate for secularists. That's the enemy for fundamentalists. And in here, Zeiden said that against the secularists, anthropocentric worldview place man, his reason and doubt at the center of the universe. But fundamentalism posit a theocentric universe. So the first one, a secularist, put anthropocentric worldview. It means about our understanding, our reason, our doubt in the center. But theocentric put God, the sovereign of God, the rule, everything about God in the center. So this is the difference from the secularist and the fundamentalism. Fundamentalism reject the secular tend to privatization of religion as inherently wrong. So religion cannot be fenced off in a private area, as God is central to all of life all over the world. So for fundamentalists, God always in the center. We cannot to make religion in the private area. I will talk about this in the next 2 slides after this. But fundamentalism cannot to receive that. While secularists stress one point, while secularists stress the death of God and the sovereignty of individual man, fundamentalists stress that the individual central aim in life is voluntarily to do God's will. So whatever you want to do, I should do my God's will. So how can you know that's God's will? Maybe just your interpretation. You should really understand that. And if they just our understanding, our interpretation, you can imagine if we have a 100%, we can have a 100 interpretation. So what is the God's will? You can see 100 God's will because of different interpretation, right? Okay, next. Different direction. This is good. If we imagine this is scholars and this is fundamentalist writers, scholars try to restoring religion to its central place in society and state, but fundamentalist always concentrate more on restoring God to his central place in the totality of human life. So this is one to restoring religion, how to put religion in the good position in our state, in life. But fundamentalists always think how to put God in the central, the totality in our life. That's really different. And we can see a lot of that in our country, Indonesia, right? Yeah, I like this. Fundamentalism in religion, that's versus laicite. Laicite is a concept from France, and I said that fundamentalism reject laicite. Laicite is the thought which posit religion in the private sphere. In Europe, they do this. Laicite, religion is private sphere. But in our country, nay, that's really different. Absolutely, for fundamentalists, you cannot put your religion in your sphere. You know, my teacher said that in here you cannot to make the understanding in your mind that, oh, this is religion when you go to the church like this. But in here you can understand religion in different perspective. Religion, you know drugs can be your religion. If I go to the church, I feel comfortable, and if I use drugs, I feel comfortable too. How can you make distinguish for this? So yeah, in here you can say that religion is related to laicite, but in our country we should think more for that. There are significant resemblance, about fundamentalism for Islamic and Christian worldview. We can see the similarity from both Islamic or Christian. I say Chrislamic. I'm sorry, Christian and Islam worldview, and we can see that both fundamentalism view secularism as a main enemy. Both Christian fundamentalism or Islam, they see secularism is a main enemy. The second one, both fundamentalists are the Theocentric by definition. Their worldview based on the axiomatic presupposition of God's existence and revelation in Scripture. Both fundamentalists submit to God's sovereignty, law, and rule in all spheres of life. And man is viewed in the framework of his relation to God as the submissive and obedient creature. And also, at the same time, in Jew, they receive with dignity, he bears God's image, the gift of free choice, and the ability to develop a personal relationship. Also, man is God's vice regent or steward on earth. And the last one is, while tempted and marred by evil, he may fulfill his destiny by personally and communally coming into right relationship with God. So even Christian or Islamic fundamentalism, they have the same idea about God, about how to be submissive to God, but we will get the impact. We have a good privilege, good benefit for that. We can dominion to another creature. That is the understanding from fundamentalism. I still have time? 1 minute. Okay. I have a friend in here, my sister actually, and he said, I just have 1 minute. Okay, the Theocentric worldview. Fundamentalist group actively encourage to receive. This is the problem. What's wrong? Fundamentalism group actively encourage to receive social and political reality in Theocentric worldview. And in our country, they also want to reshape the social and political in our country. So we should really careful for this. Even for Christian, even for Muslim, even for another religion. And Zeiden's view, Zeiden had no problem with any of them, both Islam or Christian Islam fundamentalism, as long as they were fundamental to their own belief. Zeiden has no problem for that. He also did not protest the content of their material teaching. However, he opposed the teaching process, emphasizing that others should accept their teaching. So this one, if you push another people to receive your perspective, that Zeiden didn't agree with that. But if just you use your understanding in your community, he can receive that. The last article, I will make it in 2 minutes. From Andrew and Lloyd, he talked about getting right with nature, anthropocentrism, ecocentrism, and theocentrism. He talked about dam debate, the Hetchy. This is good. You can see the debate from John Muir and Pincott. John Muir talked about ecocentrism. We should put ecocentrism is the center, is the top. So we should keep our ecology in the first top. But Pincott said that no, we also need the ecology to help us as a human. So we should think how to use our ecology to help us too. So this is really different from ecocentrism and anthropocentrism. But this article talk about maybe we need another way. And another way is alternative theocentric environment, like they offer in a Catholic understanding. And I think we can discuss more about this in our class. And for alternative theocentric environment, it's a cognitive shift from man. This is not about man and nature or man in nature, but man and nature in God. So they put man and nature, but in God's hand, in God. So we cannot separate this. This is a part. This is at the same times unity in God. So this is shift from seeking to dominance to seeking to harmony, and shift from seeing man or nature as a victim or at the mercy of the other, but to seeing man and nature in the mutuality of God's love. So the weakness is, this is good idea, but how about the community who didn't have a concept about theos? We should think about this. This is good, but how about the community who didn't think in here? They don't have more people don't have idea about theos. And the strengthness is this article focus on the point of view and value of the community, which can bring constructive or destructive impact. So this is good. And last, what do you think? Anthropocentrism, fundamentalism, theocentrism, ecocentrism, alternative, or maybe we need another alternative. So we can discuss in our online course next Tuesday. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.